So there are several components that go into installing a portable generator. So first thing you need is your generator, right? You need the actual portable generator that you want. You also need to get the cord, however long it needs to be, to plug into your portable generator to your generator inlet. So with the inlets, let me show you what I'm talking about. I have two generator inlets here. One's a 30 amp, one's a 50 amp. You can use either. If you have a smaller generator that only requires a 30 amp inlet, you can use a 30 amp, or if you have a bigger one, you can use a 50 amp. So you have your generator, you have the power supply cord, you have your inlet, and especially if you're adding this when you already live in your home and you want to add this, you are going to need 6-3 wire as well. And typically, if your panel is like on the garage and behind the panel is like brick or siding, you'll need some 6-3 gauge wire for a 50 amp inlet, and you'll stub out the back side of the panel with the generator inlet. Some other components for a portable generator setup is what is called an interlock kit or a manual transfer switch. And so you can do either depending on what you want. An interlock kit is a mechanical device that gets installed on the panel door. And what that does, it allows you to not have your main breaker on and your generator breaker on at the same time. And so it's code actually to have that mechanical device there. And it's also just a safety hazard if you don't have it. The reason that the interlock is so important is if you didn't, let's just say you didn't have the interlock on there, you could forget to turn off your main breaker when you power your generator, right? So now you have your main breaker on, even though you do have a power outage, but you also have your generator breaker on and your generator's running. So think, what's gonna happen when power is restored if you have your main breaker on? Well, it's gonna backfeed and blow up your generator, right? But more importantly, and what I think is a bigger issue, is that if you have your main breaker on without a interlock mechanical device, that generator is feeding not only to your house, but it's also feeding back out to the meter, up your riser, down a utility line, and it could potentially harm or kill a lineman working downrange somewhere. So because it's code and for those two reasons for safety, it's important to have that interlock kit on there. Or you could also have a manual transfer switch installed, which again, it's manual, and you are only limited to the amount of circuits that are allowed for a particular manual transfer switch. And so you can do either or depending on what you want. I always try to recommend going with the interlock kit because you're not limited to a certain amount of circuits. You can pick and choose what you want with an interlock system.